Hey everyone, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steven. This is 60 Cycle Hum. Wow, I cannot talk tonight. 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar buying, selling, trading, modding, fixing, breaking, reviewing, playing from guitar.com live.
Whoa, we're doing something different.
Podcast.
We're hosted by guitar.com. They're doing this live kind of virtual guitar convention event.
Yeah.
And we're part of it first day. And then tomorrow we're going to do a panel with a bunch of cool people.
Yeah.
So tune in for that tomorrow. If you're hearing this in the future, oh well, you missed it. So anyways, our first ad, I want to change that background real quick. There we go. It's a little bit more normal.
This first ad is from Michael Krause. It is a authentic 1918 Gibson Style U harp, rare. Gibson's harp and guitar in one, over 100 years old.
Well, yeah, it's a couple years over 100 years old because it's a 1918. It's 102 years old.
It's 102. It's $4,000. Are these worth anything?
I feel like $4,000 is a steal considering Gibsons from the 50s go for hundreds of thousands of dollars or something stupid like that,
yeah,
right?
But those are Gibsons people want.
That is true. Those are Gibsons people want. I mean, this was probably a hot, just pile of sex instrument when it came out 102 years ago. A harp and a guitar, and look at that big old curly top horn on there.
Yeah.
This is no joke. This is a serious instrument for a serious musician.
What is this tuned?
It's open everything.
There is like the harp side, and then is the other part just a guitar?
The other part's just a guitar.
It's a guitar.
I mean, I'm not speaking from experience. I've never picked one of these up.
So this guy, the seller,
myself.
says that one in similar condition has sold for between $7,000 and $12,000. So is this apparently is the quick sale price?
I feel like he's being coy. Like one sold. He knows what it sold for. Like, tell us. Don't give us that big range.
He's saying ones in similar condition. Not this
ones.
One.
I see. I see. Okay. I didn't hear the S on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea of the value of this thing. I kind of want to touch it though. I kind of want to play this.
I kind of want to touch it. That is weird. That
it's
is
not
a
weird.
Thing to say.
It's a guitar podcast, Steve.
I want to touch it.
It's normal for us to want to touch things.
It.
I want to touch it. I want to hold this. This is like an ultimate like double neck sort of situation.
It is. And the I guess it's gonna be droney.
Oh yeah, drone for days on this thing.
I guess I'm gonna have to learn how to play harp.
You know what?
$4,000.
You know what's crazy about this? Like people are buying, 60-year-old Gibsons right now, and it's a huge deal. Like, oh man, I got this vintage Gibson Les Paul. No big deal. Yeah, I played it in my studio recording. Yeah, I played it live or whatever. Like Joe Bonamassa, also guest of Guitar Live at some point around here. He has all kinds of vintage Gibsons and stuff like that. But you rewind the clock to the 60s, the 70s, whatever. Like, you never saw Jimmy Page pick up one of these. This was a 60-year-old guitar.
Yeah.
In the prime of his heyday.
That's what I'm saying. That's why this is worthless. $40
because Jimmy Page never played it.
Jimmy Page never played it.
I was just saying, like, he could have picked this instead of, the double neck for, whenever he was playing in Zeppelin and whatnot, the double neck Gibson. What are you doing? Don't double play us.
I'm trying to see if the chat's dead. If we killed the chat.
We didn't kill the chat.
Where's the chat?
I don't know. People just haven't joined yet.
Oh, okay.
Relax, dude. I'm
spazzing out. We're totally freaking out.
We're a slow grower over here.
I guess so.
We're not publishing to our normal thing.
I know.
And also, there's supposed to be delay on the chat, so don't worry about it.
We're cool.
We're not going to worry about the chat. We're just going to do a normal podcast.
Fine.
Just relax.
Just itchy all over. This is like a wall hanger.
Steve needs his chat fixed,
guys.
This
is a wall hanger, I guess, for me. I don't know.
Could you hang this on a wall? Like, you could not string swing this. It's going to hang diagonally, and all that weight on the headstock is definitely going to snap that headstock.
No,
twisting it funny.
That's a good headstock. This is an acoustic. It's going to be lighter than a Les Paul.
But it's got a harp connected to it.
You just need a fan. You need that. What's that company that they're trying to get us to they want to be on the show, and we're like,
It makes it sound so bigwig, but we're not a big deal.
But well, no, it's because they make a hanger that's not a string swing, that it's like it's got a guitar holder, and then it's got like a cup for picks, and then a cup next to it for like a cup. I don't know. It's like, but it's like a whole guitar station.
I like this view where your face is covered.
I figured you would. Unbelievable.
I don't remember that hanger. You'll have to show it to me.
Yeah.
No, you have to figure out some sort of custom way to display this. I would just probably leave it in a case and just bust it out at parties and weddings and things like that. And be like, oh, let me show you this old timey guitar I have, and blow off the dust, and everyone will be amazed. And like, I don't know how to play it. And I'll put it back away and be like, well, I'll bring it out in another 15 years.
What do you think this thing is tuned? What is
I already said is drop everything.
Drop everything.
Every one of those harp strings is a drone.
I don't think that's how harps work.
That's how harps work. It's just one big drone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got this $20,000 instrument. Oh, what tuning is it in? D? Oh, like D major? Like
no, all the strings are D.
No, it's just D.
Well, how many strings do we have here on the harp? 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. What do you do with 9 strings? What do you tune them to? I'm assuming you have to pick a key.
Well, you don't have to pick a key,
or at least like a key that kind of like,
I guess you
like two right? keys that kind of mash together. So, and it's got friggin' like piano tuners on it.
Yeah.
You're not going to like change tuning mid song. Like you set this to your tune, you're like, well, this is my guitar harp that I play in E and I play it in D, and that's it. So deal with it. You know,
it's called a guitarp.
That's what I'm calling it. A guitarp.
Guitar pit.
What's the first song you'd play on this bad boy, Steve? You pick this up?
Over the Hills, Led Zeppelin.
Over the Hills, Led Zeppelin. I would probably play.
I mean, assuming that I knew how to play Over the Hills. Is that what that song's called? Over the Hills?
I would probably play Blister in the Sun by Violent Femmes.
Really?
Yeah, and like all on the guitar part, and then I would find, you know, like the G and the C on the harp just to accentuate it every now and then.
Just be like, let me drone on a Gibson U harp.
Like a Gib harp in the sun.
No, that's better. That's better than what I
said. Oh, man, we didn't discuss this earlier. What's new, Steve?
What's new is I got my pedal in, the Caroline Wave Cannon 2, the WC2. This is a special finish. And I got it from the Sam Ash. They sold on Reverb. Sam Ash.
Samuel Ash, huh?
Philadelphia, I think. And in true Super Rich Steve fashion, I have not played that yet, and I don't know when I'm going to. But I'm going to
never to be played.
I'm going to say I'm going to play it soon. This thing's in like crazy good condition. There's a couple scratches on the bottom.
Yeah,
but otherwise, this is minty.
Yeah, it is.
I guess if there's scratches on the bottom, you can't say it's minty.
Was it supposed to be pretty used?
I don't know. You bought it off Reverb. You never know what I'm going to get off of Reverb. Reverber.
It's designed and created at our small batch distortery in Columbia, South Carolina. That's fun.
Yeah, I don't know if all of the bottom stickers are the same. I would think that they would be, but distortery on a distortion pedal. You can't put that on a phaser.
Now
I want to know if
or delay.
If my Meteore says a small batch reverbery on it.
It's probably some other unique quip that you could never.
Small batch echo chamber on my delay. My microphone's falling down, Ryan.
Well,
you did this to me.
Is that better?
No, it's fine. I'll just keep getting lower and lower and lower.
So professional here on Guitar Live, helpless. Adjusting microphones in the middle of a show.
Good job.
We can't see the comments if there are any. There aren't comments.
No, I don't know.
On our side, it tells us that no one is watching, which is very depressing. So
fine.
if you're watching, hi,
It doesn't tell us no one is
commenters.
watching. It just doesn't tell us.
No,
Oh,
up here it
does.
says 0 people.
All right.
But we're going to republish this all onto our normal
What do you have
YouTube
that's new, Ryan?
and onto the podcast feed at some point. I changed all the knobs and switches on my Cyclone the other day, and I did a live video of that.
Yeah, it looks really good.
And I published my demo of the new JHS pedals this morning, as did everyone else. So yeah, that's
how many subscribers did you lose over this programmed media blitz?
I don't think any.
Clearly, you are part of Big Pedal.
No one was complaining in that direction like they did with the Walrus launch. No one's like, "Oh, great, here we go again." Even though there's plenty of channels, and you know, there's channels that you've never even heard of before covering the JHS pedals, because I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure dealers all got a head start. They all got to publish at midnight, sort of thing.
Gotcha.
And so a lot of those dealers started up little YouTube channels and did their own coverage of the pedals. And so at midnight last night, I'm looking around on YouTube, I'm like, whoa, there's like 15 videos of these pedals up from channels I've never heard of before, and they all have like 20 views on them. Because they're like small little dealer shops and stuff like that. They're like, oh, let's make a video. Maybe we'll sell them first, because JHS did a smart thing and got the products into all the dealers' hands.
Right.
It sounded like they made like 100,000 pedals or something like that.
Jeez.
Yeah, it just an immense amount of these $99 pedals, and got them out to everyone before the launch. And somehow it all stayed quiet. It was all surprise for the most part.
Do you have any of those around here?
Yeah, they're in the corner back there.
Oh.
Yeah, if you want to grab one. I really like the fuzz. I'll say that. I really, really like it. It hits the itches I like scratched with fuzz pedals, doing that big kind of Velcro sort of thing.
Oh, this is the case I like.
Oh, he likes this case.
I forget what case this is, but this is like the lower profile.
Yes, it's slightly
so it's
smaller.
Like the same. It's slightly smaller than, like, I think this is the 125B, and I think this is the 1590.
We got a case nerd here.
Something like that.
We got a case nerd. He knows about cases.
A slightly smaller case. Doesn't take up like a ton less space on a board, but it just looks, it's cute.
It's cute.
It's a cute case.
It's a cute case. No, they're a good size.
Yeah.
I think they're a good value. I think they're pretty comparable in sound quality to just like your standard kind of Bosses, like your simpler DODs and Digitechs, and things like that. Your MXRs, your simple 3-knob, pedals. I mean, it's what it's doing. There's not a lot of bells and whistles here. There's a fat switch, but that's about it. It's not trying to break the mold and claim to be like some sort of crazy boutique thing.
Right.
It's a fuzz.
But it is. I mean, these are still made by JHS in
right. But I'm just saying,
Merca.
There's no claims being made of any cork sniffery of the circuit or anything like that.
A lot of people, not a lot of people, a few people I talked to are like, these must be imported. They must be doing the EHX thing and like built. Oh, it's 100% populated overseas, and they just slapped some knobs on the case and said it is built in America.
I have no idea.
But really, like, when you look at the JHS lineup for pedals, they don't use the same case layout on any two pedals. Every single case layout is different. And so what they did with these is
they streamlined it.
And you can probably save a ton of money just by streamlining.
Also, I wonder if
it's smaller, it uses less metal, therefore it's cheaper.
I wonder if the circuit boards are streamlined too. Like they designed a circuit board that could be all 7 circuits. You just drop in the components in different.
They're actually
completely like, I have no idea. I'm just making.
They're
stuff
actually
up.
all digital. They're all FV1, and they're just all the exact same pedal with different programming.
Right. If you can get in there,
I definitely made that up right now. Josh, don't kill me.
The producer Phil.
Kill Ryan.
Producer Phil just asked us in the private chat, guys, can you see the YouTube chat?
I can now.
We cannot. No, that is the private chat that I just put up there. That is not the YouTube chat. So that is something to be aware of. It's fine. If he can see it, that's great. Just, we don't know if anyone's watching, which is fine, because we used to do this.
Ryan, this is the future. It can be better.
We used to do this pre-recorded.
That's true. There we go. Nope.
All right. I think he's copy pasting
You used
comments
2
there.
wall stands. There we go.
Okay,
That makes sense. Why did I think of that?
Is this the part where we do a sponsor or something? I don't remember.
This is the part where we do a sponsor.
What's the first one you want to do?
The first sponsor I have is Big Ear Pedals, maker of the I'll Be There For You. I'll be your shining star. I'll be... That's all I got.
I'll be back.
You can call me Albie.
Yeah, the Albie, the mysterious and amazing multi-effect pedal. That's not actually a multi-effect pedal because you can't change the multiple effects. The multi-effects are curated. There's multiple effects on each patch up here, and you scroll through it with a selector knob here in between 8 of the patches, and there's only a single blend control. It's pretty much the most revolutionary multi-effect on the market. The Albie by Big Ear.
There we go. Go check out bigearpedals.com.
Did I sponsor good?
I think you did. I think you did. I think you did right. They don't just have this modulating insanity. They also have the L, which is a great little reverb pedal.
Yeah.
The woodcutter, which is an amazing take on a rat circuit. And the loaf. Those are the 3 pedals that I know about. Oh, and the Black Betty / Betty White.
Yeah. They have those fuzzes. Yeah.
Oh,
so go check out Big Ear Pedals. Go buy everything that they make twice, 2 times, 3 times. A lady. First topic. We thought we might as well kind of like address the elephant in the room.
Is this the elephant in the room?
This is the elephant in the room. This is the thing everyone wants us to talk about.
I don't know about
but they're too afraid. This is the thing the other shows on Guitar Live are too afraid to talk about. But we've got the guts.
How do we know they're afraid to talk about it? Today's day 1.
Producer Phil's going to jump in and cut this off at any moment because this conversation is going to get too dangerous and too risque, too countercultural. What is this the future? Is this the way things are going? Are virtual guitar shows going to be a thing? Is this a viable alternative to NAMM, to the AMP show, to various in-person physical shows that usually happen throughout the year but can't happen obviously this year?
I don't think this is a replacement for those things. I'm just going to say it.
Then what the hell is this, Steve?
I think this is a supplement to those things.
A supplement. Yeah, fix that. What I did is I gave you my normal mic stand.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I'm just putting this over my head now. What in tarnation, man?
There you go. Don't worry about it so much.
Super professional.
It's one of those ones where you really got to crank it down. So hopefully it'll stay put now.
So what I mean is like this event's really cool. I tuned into Pliny this morning for a few minutes. I was working today. Friday's a tough day. I tuned into Pliny for a few minutes. I've tuned into Mrs. Smith for a few minutes. And otherwise I've just been and now I'm here.
Now we're here. But like you're saying it's a supplement, it's not a replacement.
Yeah.
But did you go look around at like the virtual booths?
I haven't done any of that stuff. I saw that existed and I thought that was a really cool idea, but I haven't checked out the implementation.
I think it was neat. I'd like to see it be a bit more representative of what you would experience at like a NAMM or something like that, where you can explore. I mean, they did a pretty decent job. I was looking at the mono one. It's like, oh, here's all our products, and you can look at all the specs for them, and then it immediately leads you to retailers and stuff if you want. And I think they were doing something similar for Heritage. I was
Heritage guitars.
Guitars. And I think I browsed the Taylor one really quick too.
Okay.
So I think that could be interesting. I think it all comes down to whether or not the brands, the builders, the manufacturers see value in this as a way to gather around a display date that makes sense for their retailers to be like, this is where we're going to announce. I think they all just really want a central place to be like, oh, this is where we're going to announce the new stuff. So all the retailers can be on the same page and have media to share and know what to order from us for, Christmas sales and things like that.
Well, so I think from that perspective, this works. Like, I think this works. And I think that is the key, is how big can you make it? How many things can you smash on top of each other? Because at the end of the day, like you and I, we go to NAMM.
Yes.
And we do our media thing there, and you record 56 videos, and I just high five people, and they're like, "Oh, where'd you get that cool 60 cycle hum shirt?"
Right.
Ryan's really cool, huh? And I'm just like,
are you trying to make me feel bad right now?
No.
There's a reason we moved the podcast to being video.
Trying to make me feel bad.
So people would know what you look like, because no one knew what you looked like.
No, and so but you know, we do this media thing, but everyone else at home is just waiting for photos to show up on Instagram.
Right, that's the thing.
Or you know, somebody who went to the show to post their like, you know, oh, I saw Josh Smith in the Greer amps booth. Here's a video that I took. I think all people are just waiting for that. So from that perspective, like this works.
I think it could potentially work. I think they've really put their backs into making this Guitar Live thing not be an afterthought, and they've put a lot of structure into it, and they've gotten a lot of people involved with it. I think the long-term question is, can it become a monolithic thing where a large amount of guitar brands see it as the place to announce product, to organize, you know, their yearly schedule around it, their launches and stuff like that? Because right now we're seeing a bunch of products launch, you know, a month or two after what would have been Summer NAMM.
Yeah, people
are finally getting their ducks in a row for what they would have been announcing at Summer NAMM, and here is Guitar Live right in that period. So I don't know. I think it really comes down to how long this quarantine business keeps, you know, the lid tight on people from, you know, being in convention halls with tens of hundreds of thousands of people touching the same instruments, breathing the same air. It might be quite a while, guys.
I have it on good authority that this whole COVID thing is going to end on November 4th.
We just got political. Producer Phil's finger is on the button to end this at any moment, Steve.
I'm not saying
any moment.
No, I'm saying no matter what happens, it's over. It's over.
Right. It's all over.
If the Democrats win, then they don't need this hoax anymore. If the Republicans win, then the Democrats will finally admit defeat and give up the hoax.
Oh my gosh. You know, we're talking to an international audience right now, but everyone knows what's going on here. That's true too. So, you know, I predict we've got at least 2 or 3 Producer Phil just said, you know too much. I think we've got at least 2 or 3 more seasons of virtual events like this. It'll be interesting to see if Guitar Live happens again and picks up that torch.
Yeah.
Or if another organization tries to, you know, be the herald for that.
Right.
But I think it's really one of those things where it's all got to kind of, because there's all kinds of brands out there that might try to do their own thing, which is fine, but it's kind of got to be unified underneath a single thing. Otherwise, it's not really a competitor, or it's not an analog to NAMM or other events like that. It's like streaming stuff. It's like there's the big ones. There's Netflix, there's Amazon, there's Hulu, and they're kind of monolithic. And everything else is just kind of like, I'll add that on if it fits my lifestyle, sort of thing. Yeah. There needs to be the monolithic one, and then you can have lifestyle ones on the side.
Right. But what makes something monolithic is getting, you know, everybody's buy-in.
Right.
And so that's the trick, you know.
Right. And I think that, I mean, it becomes a much huger thing because they've got, you know, their set amount of sponsors for this, and they have 4 or 5 or 6 virtual booths, sort of thing. What happens 2 years, 3 years, maybe if they do this twice a year, 6 seasons from now, and where all of a sudden it's like NAMM and you've got hundreds of guitar booths.
Right.
Is the current setup that they have of the virtual booths going to accommodate that, or is there going to have to be a new system, you know? So there's a lot of back in there for them to work on, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. I think this is an exciting moment in history. We've got technology and the abilities of our current technology converging with a need, and you know, people who are able to be online personalities and communicate, all kinds of stuff about the products.
Yeah.
I'm done talking over you. I get a piece in.
No, I just wanted to say that, I think I agree wholeheartedly. No, I think, I think it's all about, I think first of all, I think this is really cool.
Yeah. And I think it's totally doable. It's all about getting, the brands and the industry like in the same space to do the things that they need to do,
Yeah. And that's the trick. And this isn't taped. This is basically in real time. We are 1 minute. So for those of you viewing right now on October 2nd, 2020, it is 8:54 p.m. on the West Coast of the United States. We're about 1 minute ahead of what you guys are seeing on guitar.com.
Right.
Except when the signal is choking, which is Ryan's fault.
Producer Phil is generously copy pasting the comments into the private chat area. So we see that people are commenting. So thanks, Producer Phil. We appreciate that a lot. On to the next ad.
Yeah, this next ad was sent by FishRun1.
FishRun1@gmail.com. You did some sort of forwarding thing from your Craigslist browser, and we just saw your email. We don't see your name, so we don't know who you are.
This is a blueberry Indonesian guitar, handcrafted in Bali. He makes guitars for celebrities, songwriters, Michael Franti, etc. Do you know who that is?
Nope.
Okay, cool. Big sound, awesome craftsmanship. Couple scratches below the saddle. G string tuner is non-original. Well, where I come from, you need to come original. So I'm not very happy about that.
And this is for entertainers. I think all entertainers should come original.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's controversial, but that's just the stance that I take.
This headstock, I feel like, is a very Indonesian design. It's a very Southeast Asian design.
Yeah.
This bridge is similar. I actually I really like this thing.
I saw this headstock and I was like, that puts me over the edge. I want to talk about this thing. That's really cool carving, but it's also kind of like, is there a curse on this guitar? This guitar might be cursed, and that little demon dragon headstock thing might come to life during a full moon and try to, speak to me in Latin or something like that. Its eyes will glow red, its head will turn and look at me, and the bridge will come to life because there's carving on the bridge as well. There's actually carving on the sides and back of the guitar as well. You can see I showed a little bit on the side over here. I didn't include the back pick, but it's the same kind of carving that you see on the side.
Yeah,
what do they want for this?
$2,500.
Oh, never mind. I don't want to curse that bad.
Yeah. I'm not saying like I would pay that much. I just think there's some real. I really like that sound hole.
The sound hole, the dreadnought hole, is unique. It's a long oval going the length of the guitar, meeting with the fretboard, with the low E and high E strings being the only fret on that last fret there, as the F hole protrudes into the fretboard. I've never seen a hole that
it's
shape.
Not an F hole. It's just
I've seen
sound hole.
I meant the sound hole. I've seen a lot of holes.
Do you even play acoustic guitar, Ryan?
Barely.
Oh.
As a joke. Whenever I play acoustic guitar, it's as a joke to make fun of acoustic guitarists.
How dare you, sir?
But
How dare you?
The details I feel like are really fun here.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't like, oh, I got an Indonesian guitar, and you're like, oh, so you got something off brand. It's like, no, I got an Indonesian guitar. Like, a guy in Indonesia made an Indonesian style guitar, the best that he could. This thing looks classy. I like the decorative elements, even though they're kind of garish and gaudy. They're the right kind of garish and gaudy, with that, cursed demon carving on the headstock and the details on the bridge and stuff like that. I mean, I look at that bridge and like, there's no reason that shouldn't be a guitar trend, is a decoratively carved guitar bridge on an acoustic guitar.
This is like a thing. This is a.
Are you looking at his site or something?
Blueberryguitars.com.
Oh,
there's two other acoustics on there for $3,000. there's some kind of electric guitar that I
kind of looks PRS-y
that I cannot seem to get. It's also $29.50. Trying to see if I can get some specs on this electric. Is handmade in 2014. And it's got like Seymour Duncan pickups in it.
There's no way for us to know.
Like this is like I'm just saying like the parts, it's not, this guy's not messing around.
Sure. No, the craftsmanship, there's nothing about these photos that makes me think the craftsmanship on this guitar is anything but fantastic. It's impossible for us to know without being able to personally touch it. But I thought it was interesting.
Reach out and touch.
I'm never going to spend big money on a grandpa guitar like that, but
yeah,
I think it's fun to look at. If I saw this in person, I'd be like, I got to hold this thing. I got to check out that cursed headstock.
Hold it. You got to touch it.
I got to touch it.
You got to let it know how you feel.
The face on the headstock.
You got to reach out and touch that face.
The face on the headstock is scary, right? It does look like a cursed demon, right? Like I'm not tripping. The eyes, the teeth, the snarl.
Yeah.
I mean, the rest of it could just be your general kind of like, Asian dragon sort of thing. But that face, man, is kind of haunting.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a very particular style where if you're getting like I don't know, I'm familiar with that. I'm so sophisticated. No, it just like it looks familiar to me. Like it doesn't look
like you saw it in a dream.
No, like I've seen it in real life.
You saw that demon in real life?
Like whatever.
Should I pray for you, Steve?
Michael Krause in the chat says, didn't Django play a guitar with an oval sound hole?
Oh, what are you babysitting the chat on your own now?
Damn, dude. On my phone, like a true professional. When I'm not surfing Instagram, I am watching the chat.
Or playing Candy Crush.
Yeah,
in the middle of the podcast.
Didn't I do that one episode? Like
you were playing
ago?
Like some cat baseball game or something like that. I was like, Steve, we're doing a podcast right now. Please pay attention. And you're like, I almost got the high score.
Yeah.
I'm playing that game that Glenn Fricker told me to play, and Steve Terryberry told me to play it too. Next sponsor, is that what we're doing now?
This next sponsor is Chase Bliss Audio. I haven't touched this. I want to touch it.
You haven't touched that? You were here last week.
Like I've sliding it all over the place. Whoa, but I haven't picked it.
That's not even the new hotness anymore. They've got a new hotness.
I know.
And I'm pretty sure I'm one of the few people that has a demo of, because I filmed it at Winter NAMM, is the new Reverb, the 1978 DLX.
CXM, the CXM 1978, which is this preamp
I got
Mark
so many
II,
details wrong.
This preamp Mark II was a collaboration between Chase Bliss Audio and Benson Amps. The CXM 1978 is a collaboration between Chase Bliss and Maris Audio. Very cool. It's a reverb in this format. Got all these slides.
It seems it's supposed to be based on some vintage sought after studio reverb
from 1978,
which solidifies my point that I think these are meant to be studio bling.
Yeah.
You know, like I see people online complaining or like moaning and groaning about these Chase Bliss pedals that are in these big boxes, have, all these things you plug into and cost a whole bunch of money. Like for studio people, no, that's who these are for. Yeah, you can use them as a pedal, but you say you've got a recording studio, you have a client come in, you're like, hold on, I've got just the thing for this track. You lay this out on the desk, you've got it all programmed with MIDI and stuff like that. The sliders are jumping all around, beaming Scotty up and down off the planet. And
why are you beaming Scotty down to the planet?
To fix the other beaming array that's on the planet surface. He's got to get down to the planet surface every now and then too. I get your point. I get your point, Steve. I made a Star Trek faux pas. But anyways, they're meant to sit out on a recording desk and impress your freaking studio clients. And it will impress your studio clients. You get that reverb that they just came out with. You put it next to this. The sliders are going all over the place.
It'll be really compact on your board because it's got top-mounted jacks. Boom!
And, of course, if you are fancy pants and if you're a daring person, you could put this on your pedal board and go play a dive bar with it. Go make your $30 and, 2 drink tickets with your $900 pedals.
You got paid? Go check out chaseblissaudio.com with a digital brain and an analog heart. They make pedals that are more creative than you are.
I think Knobs has a demo of the new reverb up. So he's back, guys. Don't worry. He's back to making demos.
That one, I think that's the first one of the set. I'm thinking about buying one.
Buying one of the reverbs or one of these?
Why would I buy that one?
Damn,
you already own it. I'll just borrow it whenever I want.
Super rich Steve gonna buy a reverb.
I'm not saying I'm going to. I'm saying I'm thinking about going to.
Why don't you wait to see if I get one to demo and then you can borrow it, Steve?
Because that's not as much of a flex.
Steve is all about, like, somewhere Steve has an underground cave where he's like storing all these pedals that he keeps buying in a gigless situation that we're all in.
I'm building like
he's building a wine cellar,
my own version
pedals.
of the Guitar Nerds ungiggable rig.
No, Steve has this underground cavern in La Jolla, California.
Oh my gosh.
Lit by like candles that are dripping down on skulls mounted into the walls, and it's just like this dusty cobwebbed cavern and crypt dedicated to the worship of guitar pedals, and it's just like this creepy old cryptic wine cellar with like a big pentagram in tile on the floor and stuff, and it's very dark and very spooky.
You know what I listen to when I'm down there, Ryan?
Ghost. Clearly the scariest band.
Look at it. That picture's a skull. It's
the picture
freaking me out.
Is multiple skulls. I don't know if you looked at it close. I looked at it the whole time. There's a skull here. There's a skull right here.
Oh yeah, that one.
There's skulls all over the place in this album art. I feel like I should have made this bigger. Oh well.
That's what she said.
I'm doing the best I can.
This album.
I'm gonna pull up my notes. See, I want to hear your hot take first. Well, first I want to know. Did you like it or did you hate it? It sounds like a difficult answer.
I mean, I feel like it's hard to hate. It wasn't what I expected.
I think that's fair.
I'll just put. Let's just start.
What did you expect? Say what you expected.
So what I have been told. Okay, what I expected was, something like really doomy, or like a Opethy, or I don't know, like metal. Well, I expected metal. I wanted metal.
I was expecting, because you see pictures of these guys all over the place. They're all in makeup and costumes and stuff like that, wearing, like the medical face mask from the medieval times sort of thing, and the skull makeup and the Pope hat. Yeah, they have a whole thing that they do.
There's only one member of the band, and that's the singer. He is the Pope. Everybody else is just, there's only one named member of the band. Everybody else is just choir of nameless ghouls. That is the rest of the band. It is Papa Emeritus is the singer, and the rest of the band is.
Are you saying that they're like a studio band without actual members, or are you saying that just the rest of the band are they're just always in costume character?
No, I'm saying it's like the Polyphonic Spree, where the only person who actually, I don't know if it's like the Polyphonic Spree. It's like
those people were like family, Steve.
It's like Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros. You know who Edward Sharpe is?
Okay.
But everyone else is just the Magnetic Zeros.
Gotcha.
So Ghost is the dude who's singing, and the rest of his band is just like literally on the interview notes for this album, Meliora, it says like a nameless ghoul in an interview said, because he doesn't have a name.
That's funny.
He's just a guy.
Well, they're definitely committed to their bit.
Oh yeah.
Which is part of the thing. The thing I want to say is this band is very silly.
Yes.
Like if you sit and you listen to it, like I'll talk about the musical qualities in a bit, but if you sit and listen to the lyrics, it's like this is. I reference this band a lot, but this is like an Aquabats version of a satanic band.
That's a very good comparison.
It's hard to tell where the line between sincerity and parody is here. Mm-hmm. And there's the one song, I have a note for it. He is is so clearly a parody of Christian music.
Yeah. I think you could have taken He Is. I don't know what the exact words are, but at least there are huge chunks of it where I was like, could I pull this off in church? I think I could.
I think with some tweaks to the lyrics, I was sitting there listening to the lyrics, and it was basically like, I think describing the devil. I think was what's going on there. I
wasn't listening that closely.
So, the opposite of, Christ, defining himself as I am, they're defining the devil as he is. And I think that's the joke. That's the theme right there.
But see, then here, I don't know I guess it's all over in like the P-dub circles is the whole like he greater than I. So I feel like he is already works.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, you tweak the verses and stuff like that, and you could totally turn that into a church song.
Yeah.
It's full parody to the point of almost deep sincerity.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot make a parody that spot on without being someone who secretly or not secretly has an affection for that kind of music. Like, it's too close. Because I could do a parody of church music. We're church musicians, but if I did it, it would be almost more like, oh, here's like dumb stuff. I think about this. No, this was almost it was almost a love letter to church music.
Right.
When you sit and listen to it. Yeah.
Which by church music, you mean Coldplay? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I mean like what is it, CCM or whatever it's called?
Yeah,
or something like that?
No, they're definitely like that song in particular had very strong vibes. There was one song on.
You don't accidentally do that. They full on. They gave it the sincerity with which Weird Al tackles Madonna. Weird Al loves Madonna.
Yeah,
and he shows it when he tackles a Madonna song.
There was another track on here. Let me see if I can remember off the track listing which one it was. Maybe it was He Is that I'm thinking of. That my other thought on the song was that I thought it sounded like America. Horse with No Name.
Okay.
Is that the same song?
Here's a point I want to make.
Mm-hmm.
This is circling around to the sound of the music and
sure.
The hills being alive with the sound of music. Here's the thing. You said earlier, it's not what you were expecting. It's not what I was expecting, because you see the visuals, you see the act, you see the whole shtick of the band in photos. You're like, oh, there's that ghost band again. They must be very heavy or very satanic sounding, very inaccessible. There's got to be screaming and just all kinds of noise happening here. No, this is, man, what do you even? It's got this really weird, upbeat classic rock influence.
Okay, you want to know what this is, Ryan?
What?
This is what this is. One, this is a Styx cover band, but beyond.
No, Styx is a good call out. I was thinking
like all of the synth going on. I'm like, this is Styx. This is Rush. And then with the imagery and everything else, you know what this is? This is a 2004 like emo kid who grew up on Styx and Rush. And they're like, I'm going into my Chemical Romance phase. I'm going into my Thursday phase, whatever. Like, things are getting weird. Things are getting gothy. I've listened to too much of The Cure, but I still love Rush. I'm going to make this band. It's going to be called Ghost. That's how this band happened. It has to be. It's the only answer.
Here's the musical themes as I wrote in my notes. You take a bunch of Tim Burton / Danny Elfman with the musicality of it, and you mix it with the melodies and songwriting style and just kind of whole mentality of this very 70s classic rock, pop to the edge of easy listening edge. That was classic rock.
That was the weird part of it.
Like, you're getting Kansas, you're getting ELO, you're getting Boston. It's really weird because it's not at all what you're expecting when you see the visuals of this band. And even when you're listening to the lyrics and what, the ideas they're trying to convey and trying to be like, get it, we're Satanists. Like, I'm hearing Peter Frampton. What's going on right now?
This Ghost is what would have happened if instead of doing the soundtrack to Flash Gordon, Queen would have done the soundtrack to The Omen.
Yeah. Oh, totally. No, it's this whole like fetishization of vintage horror movie aesthetic with upbeat classic rock, like positive sounding classic rock. And here's
the thing:
distorted guitar and stuff like that. There are metal themes throughout, but the vast majority of the music production is this just really tight, almost easy listening edge of things.
I felt like I don't have a great frame of reference for some of this. So I'll say I don't have a great frame of reference for Alice Cooper, so I don't know where Alice Cooper fits in this. But what I will say is, if Rob Zombie is what you play at the want to freak out your 17-year-old kid's friends haunted house Halloween party, Ghost is what you play when you want to have a good time with your 6-year-old at the happy fun time Halloween party.
Right.
Like I was like, it's just so strange. And I can only say, I was talking to people and they said that this album is specifically this way, and that the first two albums are a lot more of a, they called it like proto metal, which would be like kind of your Black Sabbaths and your your Deep Purples and maybe a little bit of Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper kind of gets into its own shock rock kind of a thing. I expected even more of a shock rock sound from this, and that's where it gets weird, because it is kind of like Doom meets 70s easy listening. Like it's Doom Sticks. Doom Sticks. I was honestly expecting like Screamo meets Marilyn Manson. No, that's kind of actually I don't know if I would have gone Screamo, because I expected like the guttural. I expected guttural.
Right. Yeah, totally. But that kind of like, oh, you're not going to be able to hear anything being said in these lyrics. But no, it's very singy. I will say I thought the music production, the instrumental production, is top notch. Like the band going on here.
Yeah.
They have got it locked in. They are a great team. The singer, could have done without him. I could have done with this being a fully instrumental album, replace the singer with an instrument playing his melody lines, and I would have enjoyed it a lot better. There were a few songs where his vocals did work.
Okay.
And I called them out in my notes. I'm not going to try to read it now.
No,
but
go ahead.
In a lot of them, I was just like, my note for almost every single song was amazing intro.
Yeah.
This intro has me hooked. What am I about to get into? And about like a minute and a half later, I'm like, yeah, this song is boring again.
So here's the other thing that I realized on my way over here. I listened to it again because I was trying to just remember. The other thing that this album reminds me of is an artist named is called Stemage, who I first discovered back in, I don't know, the mid 2000s, early 2000s. 2003 is when this came out. He formed a Metroid cover project called Metroid Metal. This is video game music. This sounds like video game music.
Oh, totally. Me. Well, one of my notes was that like this band needs to just score soundtracks.
Yeah.
Like the themes that they're working with, just how tight they are of a production, and the way they generate these hooks in the intros and then carry the theme throughout. The band is amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of the band. Like I said, I could do without the singer.
Yeah.
Sorry, singer, if you're listening. I actually tagged them on Instagram today that we would be talking about them. So sorry, singer. Please do not cast a satanic curse on me.
All right. What's the takeaway? Would you listen to Ghost again on your own?
I might check out one of their other albums.
Yeah, I want to hear one of their other albums.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to not listen to them. I think one of my notes was if you're done listening through the Darkness discography and you want to remain in a kind of humorous metal kind of vibe, but you want to like chill out a bit and get a little bit more darker and like a little spookier, and this is where you go to, like you put this on a shelf right next to the Darkness, and it doesn't seem like, because Darkness is so like glam and like falsetto kind of metal, but they're living in the same humor.
I believe in a thing called Ghost. No, I didn't want to enjoy it, especially since I think, especially because of because it was so far away from what I expected. I was like, this is weird. And the feeling that I get, and I've had this feeling with other music, is it's like when you have an artist that you don't want to like because they put out an album 5 years, okay, I'll put it this way. Like I'm not a big Green Day fan. And if Green Day put out an album that I listened to and was like,
tag Steve in your hate mail. Don't send it to me.
Well, I'm just making an example. Like,
right.
I'll make a real example. Fallout Boy.
Ugh.
Fallout Boy. I heard the single.
Real example.
Yeah, real example. Fallout Boy. I remember when they came out, I was just like, oh, I'm not interested in this. I don't care about this. These songs are bad. Fast forward 15 years, I finally listened to From Under the Cork Tree all the way through, and I'm like, oh no. I'm going to listen to this again and again and again.
Now it's my whole thing. Now it's my whole personality.
And again.
You just wake up one day and you've got snake bite piercings in your lips and stuff, and you're wearing makeup, and it just happened overnight.
I don't think they wear makeup.
I don't know. I don't know anything about Fall Out Boy. I'm just like writing off the stereotypes that I have about what I think of when I hear that name.
All of a sudden, somebody's like, the United States should not be involved in an arms race. And I'm just like, this ain't a scene, it's a arms race. I've been building up to that one. All right.
Okay, thank you.
This next part of the show is where we say thank you to our folks over at Patreon.
Yes, thank Patreon.
Over at Patreon.
Yes.
If you'd like to support the show, head on over to patreon.com/60cyclehum for as little as $1 a month. You can support the show just like Elijah Perella did at the $1 level. Thanks, Elijah, for supporting the show.
Yeah.
At the $5 level, I send you a little merch pack, and at the $10 level, you get a little merch pack. Plus, we will take you.
We'll take you on a trip.
We will in a little rocket ship. We will post it over to. What am I saying?
I don't know. You're rambling, words? Steve. What are you doing? You're under the spell of Ghost. Yeah, they put a satanic hex on you, Steve.
For $10, you get behind-the-scenes access to the 60 Cycle Hum Inner Circle on Facebook. Plus, your merch pack's got a couple extra Inner Circle exclusives. So there you go.
There you go. You want to tell us? Oh, we've got one more ad, don't we?
Oh, we do have one more ad.
I always forget about the very last one. So let me pull that up here, and then we'll do our thing. It's not this ad. I got to get to the next one.
This ad was sent by Dan Pratt.
Why won't it let me go?
It's the other direction. It's F. That's their 6.
Come on. Show it to me.
This is bad internet, Ryan. This is sent by Dan Pratt. It says, Squire Strat is in great condition. Paint is still really nice. I took the frets out and set it up as a slide guitar. Mini Seymour Duncan humbucker in the bridge, Lil 59, I believe. Flat wound strings, hung on the wall for a couple of years, and it's still in tune. Plays great. Only thing missing is the strap buttons.
Thank God it's still in tune. I won't have to take it to a tech after I buy it. I'm going to speak from experience.
How much was this?
I think it was like $60 or something like that. Oh, I didn't capture the price, did I? Oh well, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was under $100. It was kind of normal what you'd expect for a Bullet Squire Strat, which is what we're probably looking at here. I'm going to say from experience, being someone who has removed all the frets from a cheap guitar, this guitar is only worth that pickup in the bridge,
which is like $60.
It's I think if you count some of the other parts, if you can throw them in a parts bucket and use the rest for firewood, I think you got yourself a pickup here. Because what I learned when I took all the frets out of a guitar is if you don't fill those fret slots, which I'm pretty sure this person did not, those frets in those fret slots are a structural thing, just like the windshield in your car is structural and it holds the roof up to a certain extent. Those frets hold the neck straight to a certain extent. And if you remove them all, you got a potato chip on your hands. The whole neck kind of bends forward.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like one of those wooden snake toys. It's all the cuts in the side and it just kind of like wiggles around. That's what you do to your guitar when you take out all the frets and then don't fill them. So yeah, it's probably in tune just fine. Probably holds tune great. It's also not fun to play a fretless electric guitar.
Well, that's why it's set up as slide.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do it as slide, but you could also do slide on an electric guitar by putting one of those nut risers on it. It would be a lot more effective. Yeah, I say my assessment stands. What do you think, Steve? I'm more interested in that reel-to-reel tape recorder behind it. Not for recording with it, but just be like, oh, that would look cool to have in the house.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I'm just not super interested in this. People do this. At least they did it to a cheap guitar, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And at least it has a pickup that might grab your interest in it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know what this is it's for a person who's curious about fretless. Like, I've always wanted to try fretless. Pay your $60, get this, scrap out the pickguard when you realize that it's no fun, but at least you'll have scratched the itch and realized that you should scratch it no longer.
Yeah, what it really should say is only thing missing is the strap buttons and the frets.
And a purpose, because this guitar has no purpose. I'll say that.
Light it on
confidently as someone who had a fretless guitar.
Burn
There's
it.
no reason for this. That's what I did. I burned it. I think. No, I gave away the fretless thing, didn't I?
Yeah, you didn't you contest it?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I put it up on Craigslist. Like, here's a fretless guitar. Come get it. What guitar did I do that to?
I don't know.
I forget what guitar that even was. Not that it really matters. But anyways,
Geronimo Fabregas says hashtag remember the Mahar.
Oh, was it the Mahar?
Yeah, that was the one you pull all the frets out of.
That's right. It was the Mahar.
I thought.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought you gave that one away.
No. Well,
or you like did a contest.
I might have given it to the person who wanted it, but I didn't give it as a podcast contest. It was someone local because I didn't even want to ship the dang thing, you know. So anyways, tell us about the song, Steve. I am dropping the link for people to join into the private chat. Producer Phil, drop that into the regular chat if you could, and maybe people will join us in the after show. If not, we'll just call it a night.
This song was sent by Adam Johan Berggren. He says, hi, I have an album coming out October 2nd, which is today. It's a really bizarre psychedelic spoken word / instrumental album. I'm releasing it on Bizonic Records, my own self-defined label distributed by DistroKid. Hey, everyone's doing DistroKid.
Everyone's doing DistroKid. Get in on it.
I made and produced all the music, sound effects, etc. For guitar, all effects, sounds, etc. We're done with my pedal board only. No post-processing. Voices were processed in GarageBand. Yeah, so that's it. Go check it out. He says, yeah, actually, we could have like brought him on. We could have planned this.
Oh, well.
I should have read all the email.
Oh, well.
But you know, we're promoting this album, and I'm gonna throw it in there without saying too much about it. We're gonna play the song "Galaxies Form." It's narrated by Broderick Smith, who narrated a King Gizzard album. Quote, the King Gizzard album, "Eyes Like the Sky." Oh, maybe we should do them both. You want to play both songs? We'll play.
Okay, Steve, you got me. I'll put them both in there.
So we'll do that one, and the other one is called "A Universe Is Born," and is narrated by Mike Pershawn, who is a steampunk scholar. He literally has a PhD in steampunk and is a professor of speculative literature at Grant McEwen University in Edmonton.
Maybe we should get this guy on next time we have a steampunk guitar.
And not to promote. He said he's not doing this to promote it, but I'm going to drop it. Adam Johan Berggren is the man behind Nanolog.
Nice.
So very cool.
Yeah.
A little effects company.
Friend of the show.
Tech company there.
Nanolog. They make single atom thin components to put in guitar pedals that actually sound really freaking great.
So for those of you who are on the listen to the audio form, enjoy these two tracks by Adam Berggren.
And stay grounded.
Yep. See ya.
Like always, those songs will be available in the podcast version. And now we're just here hanging out because the podcast is done. If anyone wants to join, Producer Phil dropped the link into the comments. If we don't see anyone join in a couple minutes, though, we'll probably just call it an early night because we're actually going to do more stuff tomorrow. We're going to do a panel with our buddies
Mike Adams.
Are you going to be there? That's just going to be me, right? It's just
going to be you.
Okay, it's just going to be me.
I'll be with you in the morning for something else.
Yeah, we're doing a different thing
for guitar.com.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. That's secret. Mike Adams, J. Leonard J, Mrs. Smith.
Is Mrs. Smith on that too?
Yeah, and
Vanessa Wheeler, right?
Yeah. Vava is her performance name. Was there someone else? I feel like I'm forgetting someone. I don't think so. I don't think there was anyone else. So I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be chaos in a very fun sort of way.
You're the moderator, Ryan. It's your job to regulate.
Who made me a moderator of anything? This is going to be maybe I'll take it very seriously, and I'll be like, no, everyone pipe down. I'm muting you. I'm muting people.
Oh my gosh.
You got 2 minutes. Don't waste it. Not to get political, but
oh, I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, we have the secret thing we're going to do tomorrow morning that I think will be the episode the following week, unless we decide to do it a midweek thing or something like that. It's no fun talking about it if no one knows what we're talking about.
I'm trying to find your where are you? What time are you tomorrow?
4:30. There's different ways to find it. Oh my gosh, look who's joining.
It's just gonna be me.
It's just gonna be me.
I'll be with you in the morning.
Oh, you got to put on headphones or turn off your speakers.
Oh, don't you worry. I'm on it. Hey guys.
Hey, how you
there
doing?
we go. How's it going?
How are you?
We're good. How was the show? What'd you think?
It was fantastic. I can tell you I'm delirious on like 2 hours of sleep and 17 coffees in 36 hours. And I was loving myself sick on that. Thank you.
What time is it over there?
It's now midday, and I slept between like 4 a.m. and 6 a.m., but I've been up that whole other time. It's been wild.
Yeah.
For the people that don't know Lauren, she is our contact behind Harmony Guitars and Tysco and so many other brands that are connected.
And guitar.com.
And guitar.com. Yeah, duh.
Gosh, Ryan.
I didn't want to pull back the whole curtain.
Just most of the curtain.
So Lauren is our friend on the internet, and it's fun to see your face.
Well, what can I say? It's not a trade show without seeing you guys. You're always my favorite booth visitors every year at NAMM. And so, why not bring it virtual as well?
You got those comfy couches and nice lighting and,
I mean,
and stuff.
It's not quite as comfy here, but I can still do some lighting.
So we didn't see it all on our how many people there were, or comment stream decides what Phil was feeding it. So hopefully we got plenty of people watching, but yeah, he did the show.
Hey, well, it's going to live on for another 24 hours here, and then it will be living in YouTube forever. So I know that lots of people are going to be catching your brilliance.
Then just hard delete after 24 hours. Over.
We're not signing the licensing agreement. This is not in perpetuity.
We're gonna rewatch it and go, oh.
That was a good episode.
Worst episode ever.
Last week was our first episode being back in the room together.
Last week was slap happy, man. Last week was rough.
We were slap happy, but this week I feel like we found a rhythm again.
Yeah.
I feel like we were on the same page.
These things take time. It's just like getting in the rhythm, isn't it? And I see Phil saying this is the best episode he's ever seen. Hey-o.
His camera, he's blanked out right now. I threatened to add him in when we were doing the pre-show. Oh, there he is. Producer
Phil in the house.
All right, I'll bite the bullet.
We've got scenes people here. This is fun.
I'm enjoying this. This is fun. This is the most fun Friday night job I've ever had. This is anyone's vomit, just my own. As far as Friday night jobs go.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. So one thing that I did want to ask you guys, you went around the booths and you said you had a look at Heritage and Mono. Did you look at any of the others? Did you see what was new in our booths?
New in the booth? Well, I was looking at Mono and I was trying to find the camouflage bags you were talking about. I just couldn't see them.
They're so camouflaged.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only a few hundred of those.
I was actually looking pretty hard at the new the backpack thing. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, Flyby Ultra.
The Flyby Ultra, because I use a camera bag whenever I travel to NAMM and things like that. I was looking can I use that as a replacement for the camera bag, and trying to figure it out because it looks beefy and it's got the big laptop removable part of it and stuff like that.
Oh, this is weird.
Yeah, it's like it's like this whole like virtual 3D environment.
Oh,
Steve
yeah.
is looking for the first time.
Well, because I looked at it at work on my desktops, where it's just like it's a desktop.
You're
site.
doing like the 3D phone thing now.
Yeah, so now I'm doing the AR thing.
Yeah, I scrolled through the heritage like warehouse sort of look thing, and then I think I my toe into Taylor's, and then I had to get back to photoshopping things for the show.
I have to tell you,
we've lost him. He's stuck in the Matrix now.
Steve is lost in the version. He's the lawnmower man now.
I feel like I think I played this level before. You're a lawnmower alien last time.
I mean, I feel like you go into the boss level with Mono in the underground, and then you're kind of like in the gladiator arena when you head into the open sunny skies of Taylor.
That would actually be crazy if you the next time you do this, like you hack in like a Duke Nukem level or something like that. The Timber joined. How you doing, man?
Hi. Good.
Hi.
How are you guys?
Doing good.
Cool. You hear me okay?
What's hanging behind you there?
That is a 70s Ventura Gibson Les Paul signature copy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's slick.
I did join because I saw you guys had a harp. It is gold top, yeah. I was making the joke about the harp guitar with the two stands. I do have one, and that is what I do with mine.
Oh, you have a harp guitar?
Yeah, I do.
What?
It is a wall hanger. It's an art piece, and it serves zero purpose for a guitar player.
That's great.
It's like, hey, are you good at guitar? Are you good at bass? Well, now you can be terrible at both of them at the same time.
I'm surprised that they don't have a reissue of that one hanging in every store, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
super practical model.
I feel like they should rebuild one just for like an event, like,
and make it electric.
No, I mean they don't even have to make it electric. Just like as a like as a history piece, like or like do a theoretical like what would this instrument look like if we made it now? If you wanted to play authentic again, what would the Gibson harp?
This is a dumb
idea,
and everyone who works building guitars, when they hear me say this, is like, "Wow, that's a stupid idea, Ryan. You're fired." Like building something crazy like that should be like the application process to work for like an acoustic guitar company.
It's like the rite of passage.
Yeah. Hey, you want to work here? Build one of these the best way you think you can, and not give them like any plans. Just show them a picture of it and be like, build your version of this. And then every time they have a new employee that builds one, they like auction it off or something like that because it's just so crazy.
That'd be pretty cool.
It'd be pretty cool, but it'd probably also take a new worker like 6 months to pull off.
Yeah, right. One of those guys who like lied on his CV about like, sure, yeah, I can build guitars. They're like, cool, right, build one.
Yeah, let's see it. Can you build
just
I want to go like the full standing harp double bass amalgam, so it's like as tall as you. That's where I want to take this.
I want to see the alternate universe version of that, where it is a full size harp that just happens to have a vestigial like ukulele sticking out of it.
Oh, mate, I would play that thing.
A harp ukulele.
Yes.
Where were these jokes when we were covering the ads, Steve?
We're not very funny.
You just got to bring in the cavalry, Yeah,
bring in the outside talent.
Oh, no, brilliant. Well, guys, I am gonna love you and leave you. Thank you so much, and have an amazing night and carry on.
When you wake up from this nap later, you'll be like, wow, I dreamt that I actually was part of the podcast at the end of the show.
How did that happen? Yeah. Crazy times.
You're gonna have a blinking light on your answering machine from the boss, like, "Hey, saw the podcast. What were you doing?"
I'm getting WhatsApp right now.
What you look like?
I'm pretty sure all those NAM videos have already done that.
What's going to happen now is that all the other guitar channels that watch this podcast are going to be like, "Oh, she's the contact. I'm going to look her up."
Well, you know, press@bandlab.com. We're all here all the time.
There you go. There you go, guys.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Thanks.
See you, Lauren. All right.
Now I need to make my excuse of how to get out of here. I think I smell gas. I think I left the oven on.
Well, I was going to say, Steve, since we're going to have a long day tomorrow, maybe we should cut it short anyways.
Sure.
So thanks for joining, guys. Thanks for joining the Timber Owls. What's your real name? The Timber Owls, if you don't care, you don't mind sharing.
It's David.
Okay, David.
cool.
Have you been on here before? I don't remember.
No, this is, I mean, I follow you guys on Instagram, so this is kind of the first time I've ever engaged in anything like this. So it's very cool.
Yeah, thanks for joining on. Join us next week. We usually have like the same, like 5 or 6 people who join us at the end of every episode every week. So it's not a long list to get in here.
Yeah, glad you can make it out.
The waiting room, the bouncer just lets everyone in.
Honestly, like I have a little screen down here that shows me when people join. I'm like, oh, someone new. We'll just throw them in. I don't care what they're doing. Like, let's talk to everyone. Yeah. It's kind of my goal to break the system to see if we can push it to its limit. So
I feel like I got dragged into this one. Not complaining. Happy to be here. I love the show.
Well, we're glad to have you, Phil. We've joked in years past that we had a producer. We called him Producer Gary, and we just blamed all our issues on him.
I've been a scapegoat for many a production, so feel free to use my name and slander it however you feel in future episodes.
For the first time, we actually have a real producer. It kind of feels good.
Wrong.
It kind of feels good.
I should have blamed Phil every time the mic started falling.
Phil, get over here, fix the mic. All right, guys. Everyone, tune in tomorrow for our panel.
Tune in tomorrow for all of the cool stuff that's going to be happening.
All the cool stuff.